Hey, we're back with Console Crapshoot, where we spin a wheel to play a random video game on original hardware. We're playing this game the week before Christmas. Carl's in the spirit, as you can see. We're hoping to get something fun today. Oh wow, the PlayStation 1. You know, we actually haven't spun the PlayStation 1 since episode 2. It's been a really long time, and there's just so many games for the PlayStation 1. We have 1,451 games left on that wheel. Alright, and that's actually not bad. Spyro Year of the Dragon. That's Spyro the Dragon 3, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't really play this series much. I don't know a lot about it. I think I was probably a little too old for it by the time it came out. But this was Insomniac Games, who we know now is like a huge developer. The Spyro trilogy was their first big hit. This was the last one they made, and then the series went on to other people's hands. Then they did Ratchet and Clank and Sunset Overdrive, to name a few, and now they do the new Spider-Man games on the PlayStation. So very early work from a quality developer. I've heard from a lot of people that this is their favorite in the Spyro series. Right off the bat, at first glance, it has kind of simple gameplay, kids game kind of vibes. It's really bright and colorful and crisp, which is not always the case with PS1 games. I mean, with my setup, I'm getting the best possible output you can get out of the PS1, but you can tell this one looks pretty good regardless. So recently we talked about Mario 64, and this one definitely borrows heavily from the Mario 64 formula, and that's the collect-a-thon gameplay. Oops! In that game, it was collecting stars. You collect stars, and then you can get further around in the castle. Some doors required you to have 10 stars to open that door. So you go around, you collect 10 stars, and you can get in there, and then you can earn more stars in the next world. And the worlds you can get through paintings. This is very, very similar. So instead of paintings, there are little portals to other worlds. Instead of stars, there are dinosaur eggs that were stolen in the beginning of the game, and you go around and collect the eggs. And it's basically the same thing. You have portals that won't open unless you have 10 dinosaur eggs. Each world has multiple eggs that you can collect by doing various tasks, beating bosses, saving someone who's captured, you know the deal. And while, yeah, the kiddie vibes are strong here, there's no denying that the gameplay is really good. It's a really well-designed game. And like I said, the graphics are really tight for the time. It looks a little messy to our eyes now, but back then this looks great. And something you didn't get in Mario 64 that you couldn't get with Mario 64 is this CD quality voice acting. And sure, we just covered Conker's Bad Fur Day, which was fully voice acted, and that was an impressive feat to get all that in that cartridge. The sound quality on that voice acting was pretty bad. It was really muffled. The sound on this is fantastic, and the PS1 was actually famous for its sound processor. Really, really great sound. Every character you meet here is fully voice acted, the music is tight, and the gameplay keeps it interesting. Even though it's really simplistic and kid-friendly, there's enough going on here to keep you engaged. You can just keep rolling with it and you forget how long you've been playing it. There's water levels, and there's submarine levels, and this looks like a Star Wars land speeder kinda, and there's skateboarding levels and flying, and this is a really fun game, and I can see why Insomniac became such a popular developer after this. They really proved themselves with this trilogy of games. You know, they recently remade this trilogy, these first 3 games, in a remastered collection, and they're really popular with the people that grew up with them. And after playing this, that makes sense. If I was like 6 to 9 years old when this game came out, it probably would have hit that sweet spot for nostalgia for me as well. So I don't have much else to say. We should cut right to the chase.
You got it!
Spyro Year of the Dragon for the PlayStation 1. Yeah, the collect-a-thon gameplay design style was being done a lot at this time, but this is done to perfection. This is, you know, there's a reason why that style was popular, especially in early 3D games. This is a prime example of how to do that. And while this game isn't for me necessarily, I gotta recognize how great it is. It's a clear 4 out of 5. Great game. There's probably a large subset of people who would put this as a 5 out of 5, a masterpiece. I wouldn't quite go there, but it's close, and I can see why someone might think that, and I wouldn't fight them on it. I think you can get the HD remasters on the Switch, so if you have kids with a Switch, I recommend it. And yeah, that's it. Big difference in tone from the game we had last week. Same era, same cutesy platformer vibe, at least on the surface, but polar opposites as far as content and writing. Our new additions to the wheel are supposed to happen within the next few weeks. I'm hoping sooner than later. Carl's pumped, and I hope you'll join us then. Hope you had a happy holiday.